Okay, let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
Tell me how your love of cooking developed.
Well, I come from a large Italian family, so I feel like the love of cooking is in many Italian families,
Yeah.
right? Our whole culture is really based on food and the time we spend in the kitchen and learning about the dishes. And we as a culture and as a people really love to share our food. That is really the essence of the Italian culture, which is why I think people love it when they go over there and they're like, how is it that it's the people are just warm and just eager to feed you.
Right.
And so coming from a large Italian family, that was basically the backbone of everything that we did. My grandfather's family had a pasta factory in Naples before World War II. So my grandfather and his siblings would go door to door and sell his parents' pasta and sauce. So in those days, outside of Naples, in the suburbs basically, they would make fresh pasta and then basically hang it on the rooftops. So when I say a factory, I mean the factory would be on the first level and everybody would live. The families would live above that, right? And on the roof, because of the way the Mediterranean trade winds cross that area, it dries the pasta with this like salty kind of rough edge to it that really grabs onto sauce really well. And so that was part of the mystique and why that pasta from that region became so popular. So he came from that tradition. And then obviously during World War II, his parents, everybody lost their businesses because Naples was bombed quite a bit. And my grandfather ended up going into the movie business. Right. And that's where he built his empire. But food was always the center of it all. And that is how, you know, he would always tell us stories about his parents and when he was a kid and how he learned to be a great salesman based on his parents' pasta and sauces going door to door in like, and all the culture of that. And that's really the storytelling and him in the kitchen with us when I was little, me and my siblings. He'd make pizza dough, right? And then he would basically give us all little toppings that we can make our own pizzas with. And I think that the creativity of that and the ability to actually taste as I went along blew my mind. And for me, that's where the passion started.
How old were you? Do you remember?
About 5 is probably the first. And honestly, I only remember the feeling the dough had in my fingers. That's really all I remember. The rest is all pictures that my parents have shown me and all of that. But otherwise, all I remember is the tactileness, the feeling of the soft dough, warm and light like a cloud almost, and very easy to kind of manipulate. And that was my first memory of it.
I love that, just the feel.
It's a texture, and I'm a very much a texture person, a color person. Like when I envision dishes, I envision certain colors and textures because I feel like we eat with our eyes first before we ever actually put it in our mouth. So if it doesn't seem like something that looks palatable or at least makes you mouth water, chances are you're not going to be drawn to it.
Yeah, and your plates are so beautiful. That's another thing. They really are beautiful.
It's part of the sales of that. It's, you know, I feel like especially in the beginning, when I moved here in the 70s from Italy, Italian food was totally different than it is today. Right? It was heavier. It was all you can eat type of meatballs and spaghetti and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like it has transformed over the years. And also in the beginning, when I was a kid, my parents imported all these ingredients from Italy because there was nothing here. We couldn't make authentic Italian food because there weren't any ingredients. And if you look at the span of time, I moved here in 1975, you can see a giant leap from like the mid-'80s to the mid-2000s, a giant leap of Italian ingredients being imported into this country, really good, high quality. And I think that the ability to access that stuff also opened people's minds up. And honestly, 9/11 changed the landscape for a lot of us because I think great Italian food was in people's minds could only be attained going out to eat in a restaurant. But after 9/11, people were so afraid to go out to eat. So they wanted to recreate those traditions at home. And all of a sudden people started to tap into, where do I come from? Who am I? What defines me? What is my culture? What is my food? And as they dug deep into that, they started, Italians across the country, which there are a lot of us who moved here, started to realize, oh, I don't know that much about my family heritage. I'm
Yeah.
going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask my nonna and my my bisnonna. And I think they started to play in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and that's where I come into play, where I think I maybe triggered something in them, right? Of memories, the way I have memories, of smells, of tastes, of seeing dishes and being like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the name was. I had no idea what the ingredients were.
Right.
Nobody shared it with me because there wasn't such an interest. And I think it all, after 9/11, people really wanted to entertain that way and make people in their lives feel special by coming over to their houses, the way Italians have been doing for generations.
Yeah.
But it was a lost art here, and I think everything switched. The paradigm completely switched.
That is so true. And it made people cook at home.
Yeah.
You know, because they couldn't go out.
Correct.
So they explored just new ways and
Yeah.
recipes and everything and brought it home.
And COVID did the same.
Yeah.
The pandemic did the same thing. It almost like turned it around again to a whole new generation of influencers that we didn't have. I was an influencer in those, late 90s, early 2000s, and now we have a whole new group of influencers sharing their love of food. Why? Because you couldn't go out to eat anymore. Right. So it's almost like food like recreates itself and it reinvents itself every X amount of years, every 20 some years. It's fascinating.
You are obviously, the face, the brand with Luna. Why the name Luna, first of all?
So my grandmother is a big influence in my life, as is my grandfather. And because my grandmother was the one who taught us about the moon as children, we used to call her Nonna Luna instead of her actual name. And so that's where the inspiration came from. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love just how it rolls off. It's such a pretty word.
Yeah,
It's
and
such a pretty
honestly,
name.
I wanted to give it an Italian name as well, but nothing that felt too overwhelming to people.
Right. This is just simple and beautiful.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what you're gonna get, and you feel, and you can say it, and I feel like that. I've always been a person who wants to take the intimidation out of this experience.
Yeah.
I want you to walk into my restaurants and see food and smell food, right? Like that's what I love about this design that we created, is that it feels like you're in the kitchen. You have a show going on.
Yeah.
And you can watch and you can be mesmerized by it. And this Ferrari of a pizza oven that creates such an experience around the pizza program. And to me, that's what makes it special. Vegas is different in the sense that we're on the Strip suspended, so you can see the Bellagio fountains when the windows open.
Right.
You have a sense you're suspended over those Bellagio fountains, right? And when you walk into Giada Vegas, you see an antipasto bar, and you see a pizza oven, a wood burning food. So creating these experiences take the intimidation out of going out to eat. And I think that prior to me, Italian restaurants were slightly, and restaurants in general, especially in Vegas, most places were a little bit more intimidating. If they were high-end, they were more intimidating.
Right.
I wanted to give a high-end experience with my food and take the intimidation out and feel warmth as if you're walking into my living room. And that's what I try to create in all my restaurants.
I love that. We were talking earlier about just Arizona, Scottsdale, the feel. Like, what is it that you wanted people to feel and taste and love, just based on this lifestyle and this location?
Well, I think that the beauty and the reason I came to Scottsdale also is because it does mimic a lot of my lifestyle in California. It's light and sunny, right? People understand food here. There's a ton of foodies here that really want quality, and they want a really amazing Italian experience, but they want it sort of reinvented, a little bit lighter, sunnier, happier, like that kind of vibe. And so that's what I feel Scottsdale does, right? Arizona in general. And, we've got beautiful scenery with the mountain. We've got warmth, so you can sit outside. Like all the things that I love about California, we could recreate here.
That's so great. What do you love about Arizona or Scottsdale?
Well, the warmth is phenomenal. The sun shines 90% of the time. I never realized how much I loved the sun until I moved to Paris when I was young, after growing up in Los Angeles.
Yeah, because you went to culinary school.
I went to culinary school and I lived there for a couple of years. And
Right.
I have to tell you, the gray skies, 6 months out of the year, I didn't realize how much they've affected my overall state.
Yeah.
And so I love sunny places.
Yes.
And this is marvelous.
Yeah.
And I think the ability to sit outside, to me, when you eat, al fresco dining is something we do in Italy all the time, and the ability for me to give that to customers is phenomenal. And in Vegas, I had to recreate it by being able to lift the windows and open them completely, create a tile floor that's separate from the main dining room so you could feel suspended outside. So it's a way to recreate that al fresco dining in every space that I design. And the ability to design these places, like this didn't exist. Vegas didn't exist. It wasn't an existing restaurant. And I think for me, that's the beauty of it, because I can really put my signature. It's a little bit more feminine, it's more inviting, but yet still that high-end gourmet experience of Italian food.
Can we talk mommyhood?
Sure.
Okay. Jade is, I don't know, how old now? She's like a woman.
She's 18 in 2 weeks.
Wow. You have done so much in your career, in your life, from the shows to the books to, you know, like just not only Food Network, but, you know, like I've seen you with Bobby Flay in Italy. You know what I mean? Like it's like, it is just
I've had a fun
endless.
journey. I'm not going to say I didn't have a
You
fun
really
journey. I have had a
have.
really amazing journey.
Yes. So, you know, how do you, first of all, let me ask, what are you most proud of?
Well, I think I'm most proud of Jade, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, I will be completely honest. I did not envision myself with kids. I didn't. I'm the eldest of 4. My mother had me very young, at 19. Then she had my little brother, the 4th kid, when I was 14. And guess who changed a lot of diapers and drove him to everything? So when I grew up, I was like, I've been there, done that. I did that at 14 for my mom. I'm not doing that. Like, we're done. I'm working and I'm having a different life.
You're busy. Yeah.
And then Jade and I was married, and I was like, okay, I guess this is, you know, I feel like I can say that I'm a pretty flexible person, and when things appear, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's not part of my plan.
Right.
But I guess it is now.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I was incredibly scared to have her because I knew it would impact my life.
Right.
I knew it would impact what I thought I would be doing.
Right.
And it threw a little curveball in my life, but I have to tell you, the best curveball that has ever happened to me.
Oh.
Truly. It made me grow in ways I never knew was possible. I really also think that I would not have the longevity in my career if I hadn't had a kid.
That's amazing. What a blessing.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't plan for the blessings. And I think that's like the biggest learning tip for me is that, like, you gotta be flexible. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes they're really, really scary. But you gotta like face them and
learn
go
how
with
to catch
it
them.
and learn how to catch them, because sometimes it's the best gift of all.
Wow, I love that. So how do you balance everything
In
in
day
this
at a
crazy
time.
world?
One day at a time. No, I think that I learned early on that I couldn't do all of it.
Right.
100%. Right. So in my life with Jade, in the very, very beginning, I had a really hard time giving up my work.
Yeah.
And then as I started to sort of figure out what the balance is, because it takes time. You have twins. Like, twins are a curveball.
Right.
When you think you're having one and then you have 2 at the same time, like, and so you have to figure out like
What works.
Because different things work for different people.
Right.
And so figuring out really great help, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And finding that balance. And so, you know, I didn't open 50 restaurants. Maybe a guy in my situation can do that, but I couldn't because I was a mom as well. And so slowing down a little bit of what I wanted to do, still being able to do it, but doing it more impactfully for me.
Yeah.
And doing it closer to home. Like flipping the script a bit instead of trying to do all of it, is I guess my point.
Absolutely.
Is like, I think you have to, what works for one person doesn't work for everybody else. And as you know, as women, we also have, you know, ambitions and ambitious careers that we want to sort of attain. And so I think we have to think, okay, how do I do some of that? Maybe not all of it at once.
Right.
And also do this.
Prioritize. Yeah.
So prioritizing my life was really something that it took me a minute.
Yeah.
It took me a minute. You know, balancing it all and then becoming a single mom, which was not part of the plan either.
Right.
Like, it just sort of evolved. But I have to say, she's amazing. And I think, you know, I there's a lot of times where I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that gig. I'm just not, because my time is fleeting with her.
Oh.
And I want to prioritize being with her because she's going to college next year, and that time's up.
Oh, God, that's going to be a moment.
Yeah, I'm already in the moment.
Oh my gosh, that's tough.
But at least I see it now, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, instead of traveling and doing all of the restaurants in a week, once a week I go to each one so that I can bookend being there for her.
Speaking of doing a lot, what kind of upcoming projects do you have going on? What are you working on? What should we expect?
Well, I have a YouTube show that I've been doing.
Yeah.
And Jade's been a part of that, and that's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the YouTube show. I'm opening another restaurant in Chicago in June.
So that's 2 in Chicago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I basically have I have Pronto here and this.
Okay.
And then I have Pronto in Las Vegas plus Giada in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I'll have 2 also in Chicago. It makes it more worth moving around.
Yeah, got it.
And doing all that.
Okay.
And then I'll start working on another book.
Oh.
And then, I don't know, I have some, I have Giada that I work really hard at.
Yeah.
And going to Italy and sourcing products, and now getting these products into retail across the country, and that's been a huge undertaking. And taking a lot of my time, and sort of just spreading the word about really great Italian ingredients, and what to look for, even if you don't buy Giada products, at least what to look for, empower people with that knowledge. And so that's been my bulk of it lately.
Okay. Yeah, still busy.
And busy in different ways.
Right,
the retail portion and starting a brand of my own has been
what
a
an
giant
undertaking.
Yeah. And learning a ton.
Yeah.
Learning a ton. But going from direct to consumer with Giada now into retail, which it's just a totally different business model.
Wow.
But learning how people consume information and how they buy and how their buying has switched. I mean, it was all direct to consumer, and now people want experiences. They want to touch and feel. They want to go to their local grocery store to find new brands. They don't want to do it online. It's the mind shift change. The way people see the world changes so drastically, and I feel like it keeps me young being able to do that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
It's been fun.
When you talk about, things that people should look for, like certain ingredients or what have you, can you share some of that wisdom? What should we be looking for?
Well, so at Luna, for instance, we make all of our pasta in-house.
Okay.
Pasta al mano. Yeah. But when you're making food at home, a lot of times dried pasta is actually the better way to go, right? Yeah, because for most sauces that people make at home that are very simple, like red sauces, dried pasta is actually better for that sauce, right? And nobody has time to make fresh pasta regularly, and also fresh pasta can be a little bit out of price range for a lot of people. Yeah. And with dried pasta, you can feed a crowd for very little, which is really the goal. But looking for the right ingredients, because I think that pasta for a while got a bad rap.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the pasta, it's the type of pasta that you're buying. And sadly, a lot of pastas are, whether they're gluten-free or not, a lot of times, are not made with the best ingredients. There's a lot of fillers, a lot of gums, in order to produce in large quantities,
Yeah.
And also, it's the type, when you make the dough, because pasta always starts with the dough, right? Then you extrude it through a machine with a cutter. And the cut is usually, well, in Italy it's a bronze die, but in a lot of American companies, it's Teflon or plastic, right? So it extrudes pasta fast, right? Because you can heat that up. Bronze dies, you can't heat and push out so much dough because the bronze die will get clogged up. It just doesn't work that way because the bronze die gets really hot. It's bronze. So any metal, when something gets pushed at high levels, it'll just heat up and seize up. Plastic, it just kind of goes, right? So you can produce more pasta.
Right.
Also, the drying process is a big part of Italian pastas. Slow dried instead of dried in really hot ovens. What happens with those products is when you overheat the dough and when you dry it too quickly, it changes the molecular structure and how your body digests it, which is why we have a lot of issues. So I think you want to look for organic if you can. Okay, slow dried, bronze dyed, and look in the back of the ingredient list. It should be durum wheat semolina and water for regular pasta. Gluten-free should be 2 to 3 ingredients, not much more than that. So we have a Giada gluten-free pasta, which actually has been the biggest hit of all, which is always shocking for me because I'm not gluten-free.
Right.
But I have a lot of people on my team who are, which is why we created it, and also because a lot of consumers who were going to the site were like, you need gluten-free.
Yeah.
My child is gluten-free, now my whole family is gluten-free.
Right, right.
And so 3 ingredients. We have rice, corn, non-GMO corn, and water from the Po Valley in Italy.
Wow.
The Po Valley being the north,
Okay.
and that's where they grow a lot of rice and corn. They have for centuries.
Yeah.
And so very minimal amounts of ingredients.
Okay.
Produced in Italy,
Yes.
boxed in Italy, like,
Okay. Those are great tips.
so little tips to teach people how to
Look
how
for
to
the right
source.
one.
Yeah, it's really, there's a lot of marketing out there, can become
Yeah.
way overwhelming, and I think people just shut down. So, yeah.
Finally, what else do you want to do?
What else do I want to do? Someday I'd like to be a grandmother. And I think I would like to buy a villa in Italy and sort of turn it into some kind of B&B or some kind of like spa that like helps people like center themselves and understand food and maybe make olive oil there and growth, like just have an agricultural sort of venue where people can come and stay and learn to cook and understand how we make olive oil and how we do make pasta and how we do all of these things, so they can start to understand where things come from and understand the culture even more, but do it in Italy. I think I feel like I'm trying to do it in the States a lot, but I think I want to go home and try to do it there.
I think that's attainable for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where my daughter ends up. We'll see how this. I feel like I'm starting a new chapter.
Right. She could be your
she's
sous
leaving.
chef.
I doubt it. Cooking is not what she likes. She likes to eat, but cooking is not for her.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
she's not interested. But it doesn't matter. She can come and do other things there.
Yeah, she
You
can
know?
just reap the
She can-
rewards.
She loves to be on stage, so she can do some kind of entertainment.
Oh, that's so great.
And I think that's what agroturismo is sort of. I think the next chapter, but it's probably not for a few years.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah,
it takes
you
time.
Sure will.
It takes
Absolutely.
time.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is the lemon spaghetti, which you know,
Wow.
and that's the tiramisu.
Oh, beautiful.
That's the lemon pizza.
Oh.
And this has become one of our signatures. It's basically a spin on a caprese, but it's a stracciatella instead of a burrata, which most people do burrata.
yeah.
Stracciatella is from the south, and it's more of a softer, like almost stringier mozzarella.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Yeah, because I'm used to burrata, and I love burrata.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Stracciatella is a little bit lighter than burrata,
Okay.
but has a creamier almost, if that's even possible.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I've never heard of lemon pizza, and I love lemons.
Here.
That's incredible. Wow.
So these are candied
Okay.
in a simple syrup, and
Thank you.
we do like a mascarpone cream as a base
Okay.
that we put on it. Then we throw on some shredded mozz, and then the candied lemons. And then on top of that, when it comes out, we pull it out a couple minutes early, put the caciocavallo. Caciocavallo cheese is very melty, but it's a little bit stronger than a mozzarella.
Yeah.
It's used in Italy a lot for pizzas. Harder to find here just in a regular grocery store, not quite there yet.
Okay.
So caciocavallo cheese, which is the way they make it in Sicily, which is why I wanted to add it. And then basil, and olive oil to get a nice golden bain de soleil tan around this.
So simple. Yes. Now, you said these are customer favorites?
Yeah, so this and this and this are all customer
favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the tiramisu.
I would say the souffle and the tiramisu are the two top
Is that espresso
desserts.
beans?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty.
That's
Yeah.
so pretty. Now, are
And
you
white
going to
chocolate.
eat with me, or am I just going to be eating this by myself, or a bite?
Yeah, I can eat with
Okay,
you.
yes,
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, again, these are customer favorites.
Yeah,
I have to.
Take
Oh,
this.
there you go. Yes.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I feel like if this is closest to me, then I'm going to start.
And
here.
it's hot.
Okay. Yes.
So the hot ones go first.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to try this. This is beautiful.
You don't have to try everything. I think you know this one because you've been to
it's-
Vegas, but
yeah.
I really need you to try this one. Because I feel like the pizza is like the bomb.
Oh, it's sweet. There's a little sweetness to it.
Which is, I think, why people like it. It's because the lemons are sliced super, super, super thin, right? Like on a mandolin. And then they're just slightly poached in this simple syrup. And then they're taken out and we dry them really, really well. But they're so thin, I think people think, oh, lemon slices, that sounds good. No, they're so thin. And the idea too, also from Sicily, but also I do this in Vegas with my arugula salad because I candy the actual segments. And people loved them with the pancetta because salty and sweet. And this is the same, it's sort of salty and sweet. And at the end of the day, that's the palate that people love.
And it's bright.
Yes.
With the lemon.
And sunny, which is why I think it's so Scottsdale, it's so Arizona. And I think when people see it, they're like, that is crazy. I will say that at the very beginning, when we put it on the menu, it was like, send them out some tasters, and then it just sort of caught like wildfire.
Yeah.
And
I can
so
totally
different.
see why this is a favorite.
Yeah. And it's
so
very
good.
unique because, like you said, you don't see it anywhere. This is awesome. I think the really special part too are the balsamic pearls. Try those.
Is that balsamic pearls? I was wondering
And they
what
pop
that
and they're
was.
sweet in your mouth. They just go, it's really good. Just try those. It's so good.
Yes. Love.
Right? The balsamic pearls are just awesome.
And what a creative spin. Because normally people drizzle the balsamic, but I've never seen the pearls.
So
So good.
my thing is always to make them bright and light and sunny, but also give you something that's a wow factor.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's what we're always trying to do.
I love
Is
that.
really envision, not reinvent the wheel, but like give it a creative spin.
Yeah.
That makes you go, oh my God.
Yes.
Who knew?
And it's so bright. See that? And bright and light.
And pops.
Yes.
So that's why that became so popular. That's why that one be. This one I think is just, honestly,
That's a
you know what
classic.
my favorite part is actually? The crispy capers.
Oh.
Because they're salty and crispy from being fried.
Oh my gosh.
And I think they're just fabulous.
And I love lemons.
I
So,
mean, I think people love them more than they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, you know, especially in southern Italy, lemon is how we brighten everything up.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes they're underutilized or
Yeah.
appreciated. So I feel like highlighting the lemons, and I think it's come a long way. I think people are really like thrilled with it. I mean, that's just like a lemony Alfredo, really.
Oh, it bursts in your mouth.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. It's a
love
prawn
that.
broth
I love
base
that.
with lemon in it. It's just like, yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
I love your style of cooking is my style of eating. So good.
All right, so this is our pasta cart experience.
Yes.
So you can get it tableside, so people can start, you know, watching on people. We'll rotate different pastas in. We're going to start with cacio e pepe because it's popular.
Yes.
And so what we'll do is heat it up in here. These are house-made rigatoni, mezzi rigatoni.
Delicious.
And the base of this sauce is made with parm broth.
From the rind.
From the rind of the Parmesan cheese, which a lot of people throw away, which is crazy.
Which is a great cooking tip.
All right,
Save
what I
the
want you to
rind.
do
Yes.
is I want you to just grate a little bit of cheese over the top here.
Okay.
Yep. Parmigiano Reggiano from the Reggiano area. Okay,
Beautiful.
that's great.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna toss it. And you're gonna do me a favor. You're gonna grate some more, grind
pepper.
some more pepper, because
Okay.
cacio e pepe is all about
The pepper.
The pepper.
Yes. Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cacio, you know, the pecorino.
Oh, okay.
Keep going, keep
Oh,
going,
wow.
keep going.
Lots of
You got it.
pepper.
And you see that the grind is a little bit bigger and coarser.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's what you want. You want a nice bite. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
So now we just toss it, table side.
And it gets the
Yeah, and so you've also got
flavors.
the heat of, you know, the creaminess of the Parmesan wheel in it.
So good.
So you can see how creamy it keeps it and warm. And then we're gonna put it in this beautiful little dish, and you're gonna finish it with a little bit more Parmigiano,
Okay.
because cacio e pepe is about the pecorino and the Parmigiano together. And you're gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Finish it with a little bit more cracked pepper,
Beautiful.
tableside. And then
Okay, just a
you
little, okay.
are gonna, yep. I'm gonna finish with a little bit of our Giada olive oil, monocultural olive oil, and you're gonna take the truffles and you're gonna do it over the top. So a little bit of the olive oil, and then just a light dusting of truffles. Yep, you're good. You're good. Black truffles right over the top,
This is beautiful.
and that's great. Yeah.
So much flavor. And so there's not a lot of ingredients.
No, and that's the whole secret to this, is that there shouldn't be a lot of ingredients. I guess they didn't give us forks, so I'm gonna give you a spoon.
That's okay.
If you wanna taste it.
Yes, of course I do. Okay.
Let's taste it together. You see with the black pepper and
To
the
die
truffle
for.
just kind of like,
Oh my gosh, it's so rich and creamy. So good.
truffle. The pepper and the truffle combo.
love it. Delicious.
I think the pepper got in my throat.
We'll edit that out.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Delicious.
I'm gonna have one from here too.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And the rigatoni
Oh my gosh. That Parmesan.
has a great bite, right? It's
So
the
good.
pecorino and the mix of the pecorino and the parmigiano together that create that like silky, smooth, velvety cream sauce.
Creamy.
And then with that bite from the black pepper.
So good.
And the truffles.
So good.
Well,
Amazing.
thank you. I think I've fed you pretty well.
Thank you.
I
I
think
know.
you should bring the rest. I think you should bring leftovers
Yes.
back to your crew.
The newsroom will be very
Yeah, the
happy
newsroom.
thanks to you.
Exactly.
That's your gift to them. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my
so
gosh.
anyway, really excited about all things to come here at Luna.
This is great.
It's
Yes.
super fun, and we'll do the vodka sauce. We'll do all different. We'll just rotate
Okay.
in and out all of them, and then we
Right.
might do a branzino. We're gonna do all
my
sorts of experiences
God.
tableside, which is something I've been wanting for so long.
Yeah, and now
I
it's
think
happening.
Dining should be great food, but it also should be amazing entertainment and
Yes,
experiences.
and people love to look and see what how it's made.
Yeah,
I mean, this is an
exactly.
incredible experience.
Exactly. All right, so let's make the lemon pizza.
Got it.
We've already flattened one out for you so that we could keep your outfit looking awesome.
That's okay.
And now you're
Okay.
gonna take this mascarpone cream,
Yes.
okay, and you're gonna basically go around the edges, leave about a 1-inch border,
Got it.
and fill the rest with the cream.
Okay,
Have you done
okay.
one of these piping bags before?
Never. Well, yeah, I mean for cake and
Well, there's
frosting.
no difference. Just think of this as frosting.
Okay.
Okay. As if you're doing
All
a
right.
cake. Ready? Go. And I'll start doing this pizza. There we go.
This takes a little muscle here.
Yeah, I know. It does.
Yeah. You make it sound so easy when
You're
there's
gonna move
really.
it, and then you're gonna do this,
Okay.
and then you can just kind of,
Oh, look at you.
and then we'll just spread it.
Oh,
Okay.
make it look so easy.
There we go.
Of course. Okay.
No, it'll be fun. It'll be great.
All right. Oh,
Find
there we
something
go.
for you to. Hey, Mike, do you have like a little mini spatula or something? I need to.
Not as
need
nice
to
as
spread this out
Giada's,
for
but I'm trying my best here.
No, she's
Yeah.
doing great. It's like an art project.
A little less.
No, he's
Oh.
gonna no, because she's gonna smear it. She's gonna smear it. It'll be fine. Just give
okay.
me a offset or something,
All right.
or a spoon. Okay, great. Okay, so you can. Okay, so now we can put that back there.
Okay. That's
And
enough.
now
yeah.
we're gonna do this,
Oh, much easier. Yes.
and I'll fill it in if it needs more.
Okay.
You do that. I'll help you out here.
All right.
We'll fill in some areas here because this is pretty cold.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're working with frosting that's super cold, it tends to
Right.
seize a little on you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. There
I
you
like the
go.
smearing.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. You cover that pocket,
Yep.
and then we're gonna take a handful of mozz and just spread it all over.
Okay. I want to get every nook and cranny in here.
Yeah,
okay.
you're good. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. It's gonna spread as it heats.
Okay. A
Yeah.
handful of mozz.
Yep, and just kind of go. Yep, there you go, all over the top. Perfect.
Make it rain.
Make it rain a
okay.
little mozz. Perfect.
All
That's enough of that.
Okay.
And now you're gonna take some of these. You see how thin they are?
Oh.
You see that?
Yes.
Okay, and you're just gonna put like 6. Just get it
Okay.
somewhere in the
And
center.
again, you said these were soaked in what?
In simple syrup. Simple syrup is just equal parts water and sugar.
Yes.
You bring it to a boil, you dissolve the sugar, and then you put the lemon in it. It's like steeping tea.
Right.
Same idea.
But who would have thought to soak it in simple syrup on a pizza?
Well, because so it takes out a little bit of that like acidity of the lemon, gives it a little
Yes.
sweetness.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Great. So now we're gonna put it on this.
All right.
And we're gonna put it in the oven.
The pizza peel. All right. So glad Giada's doing this and not me. Yeah. That's hard.
It got hot. All right, we got it.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
gonna put a little bit of lemon.
Okay.
I mean olive oil. I'm gonna brush it for a sec.
Oh, for that
It's a
tan
I'm
look.
tanning it a
Yeah.
little bit. I'm just tanning it a little bit. There we go. That's how you get the edges nice and golden.
Beautiful and
Okay.
crunchy. So good.
And now you want to put it in?
Okay, sure.
Ready?
All right.
Okay, so now, have you
Okay.
put it in before?
No.
Okay, so what you're gonna do
Yes.
is you're just gonna stick this in there, and then you're gonna count to 3 and go boom, and just let it slide right off.
Okay.
Let's see
In
if
the
you can do
middle?
it. Anywhere. It doesn't
Anywhere,
matter. It's
okay.
a rotating plate, so
All
you're
right.
good to go. Anywhere you want.
Okay.
So lay it down.
Lay
Go
it
ahead.
down.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And now
then
1, 2,
1, 2,
3.
I did it. I did
Get
it.
in there. See where she put it? She landed it
Right in the middle. Bullseye.
Look how good.
Oh my God.
Bravo.
Wow. I was so scared.
That is awesome. Okay, so
Okay.
now this thing will rotate, and
All
see
right.
it's all like on a rotator.
Oh my gosh, it's
So it's a 90-second rotator. And then
90 seconds?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then
Oh.
yeah, see it turns on and off so that it can cook evenly.
So how long will it cook in 90 seconds?
It'll cook in 90 seconds, and then we'll check it, and we might put it in for another 30 seconds if we need to.
That quick.
But we crank out pizzas, so this is really
Yeah.
helpful, and it takes a little bit of the work for the person running the station.
Wow, that's
See how it's
fast.
bubbling?
Yes. Oh my gosh, look at that, Michael. It's like in seconds. With the fire in the back and everything. Oh my gosh. So good. Okay, so, but you don't have a pizza oven this big, right?
I do.
You do?
I do. I have
In your
this one
home?
that
The
rotates.
exact one.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
Touched it just.
Pizza party at Giada's.
They have touched it a little.
Amazing.
Yeah, I have this exact one at home. It doesn't have the red tile. I have brick because I have like
Yes.
stone around mine
Oh my
to match my house.
God,
but
that's
yeah, I have the same
incredible.
one.
Oh
That's
my
how I figured out to get that one, this one for here.
Yes.
Because the one I have in Vegas is a wood burner. They didn't have this technology at the time
Yeah.
that I was in Vegas.
Is this
So-
better?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
way easier.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
one in Vegas takes
Time.
a lot of love.
Okay.
A lot of love.
Okay.
A lot of love.
That's
So-
incredible. So this is pumping out 585 degrees. Oh my God. So what are you doing? Are you just kind of like,
I'm just moving it around a little
okay,
bit.
so it'll cook a little bit more
yeah,
even?
evenly. Yeah.
All
so you
right.
can see that side right there.
Yeah.
See, it's not cooked quite at the same.
Right,
So I'm
right.
trying to keep it. Cooking evenly on all sides.
yeah. Oh, the bubbly. Oh my goodness. How often are you making pizzas at home with your oven?
In the summer.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Like every weekend.
Wow.
In the winter, depends.
What I love about the pizza oven is it's such an entertaining like tool. You know, it's everybody loves pizza.
Yeah. Exactly. I think I'm burning this side though. Need a longer strand before it gets over. Come on. Oh, there's a hole in it. That's the problem.
Oh.
I think I created that hole. All right, I'm coming out.
Okay. Coming in hot.
See that hole? That is where
Oh
that
yes.
is causing it. Oopsie. All right, we're gonna be fine. All right, so you're gonna spread a little bit of. I'm gonna show you this.
Okay.
A little bit of parm. There we go. Solidify and stop.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put a little bit
Oh,
more.
okay.
A little bit more parm, and then we put a little bit of fresh basil.
All right.
And I'll just.
Just place it on there on top. More olive oil.
Just a little bit to
Yeah.
make it golden.
Smells incredible.
I like to put a little bit of salt
Ooh,
on
yummy.
the crust.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little bit more.
I love the saltiness. Yeah.
And then we gotta let it sit for a second so it can solidify, and then we
Okay.
cut it.
Oh my gosh. It still looks beautiful. I mean, not as good as you, of course, but
No, I touched it too soon to move it around. But she's still okay. Let's see if we
still,
can
I bet it tastes incredible.
Let's see if we can just cut it now.
Oh, so crispy. Beautiful. Oh, and look at just ooze.
So in Sicily, this is how we eat pizza. I'll show you.
Okay.
You can grab a little one. This here. So in Sicily, and
Oh, you
in
fold it?
Naples too, we fold it.
Oh.
Woo, it's hot. Holy cow, it's hot.
I know, it looks hot. I'm gonna
Careful, it's
try to
hot.
fold a little
Try to
one.
fold a little one, yeah. I think it's too hot. I'll burn
Yeah,
it out.
maybe too hot.
Here, I'll try this one now. But we fold it over like a sandwich.
So good. I just love that bright taste.
Crust is good too.
That is still so good.
And the crust, we made a mess. What are you gonna do?
That's cooking. It's so delicious.
The crust is so good.
Oh,
It's all so good.
that cheese. Oh my gosh. Everything. Everything. Oh my God. So good.
I don't know. It looks pretty messy now.
Oh, but it tastes so good.
Crust is really good.
Oh my God, it's excellent. It still has the flavors. It may not look as beautiful, but it still has all the flavors.
True that.
So good. I love it. You're so amazing. Truly.
So good.
Truly.
The lemon is everything.
Everything. I would absolutely order that. 1000%. Over and over. That's
Pasta?
a fave.
Sure.
Yes. Oh gosh. Thank you. That is a fave.